This is Journey to the Savage Planet, Employee of the Month Edition. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this game originally released quite a few years ago, and I did a video on it in the past, but they did do a current gen upgrade for the experience. So I thought, hey, eventually I should jump in and take another look at this game, and that's what we're doing right now. So this one has two visual options, and I guess I should first kind of mention, in case you are wondering, that I don't have a save for this game because this is like a new version of the game. So if you had the original version, you'd have to download this new version of the game. So, yeah, it doesn't have your save file, and you have to start from the beginning. Which could be a little annoying if you want to keep your progress, but it does have a fresh set of achievements for you to work towards. So you can go and earn fresh selection of gamer score if you're into that kind of thing, or if you want to replay this game. And you know what? It's actually a pretty fun adventure game. It's got some neat gameplay to it, a fun sense of exploration, and it's kind of hilarious. To a degree, I found it pretty funny. So what are we getting here? It's a 4K resolution at 60 FPS, at least with the performance mode, where it's a bit more dynamic scaling, but you are going to notice, and I think maybe you might have already, that there is some performance issues in this game. Like, it's not perfectly smooth. Yeah, it definitely has some performance issues. But at any point, you can go to the options. There's a photo mode, too. There's also filters, which are kind of cool if you want to change how the game looks. Kind of a nice touch. General, and then graphics, and you can switch to quality mode, which will give you that full 4K at 30 FPS. And, you know, it does actually look better. It does actually look like a higher quality, but, like, that drop in frame rate is kind of noticeable, but at the same time, it does seem to actually kind of give you that level of, like, I guess you would say a smooth 30 FPS, if that makes sense, as compared to, like, a really all over the place 60 FPS. Although it's a little hard to tell when it's down to 30 FPS unless it's like super chugging, but I don't know if it's necessarily even perfectly smooth, but it is, you know, at least kind of a little bit more even and a little less disjointed. So I think this is going to be one of those games where I'm going to have to come back in a future console generation and, you know, revisit this one. Oh, that is such a difference. Revisit this one and see how it's running at that time to see if we can actually get the perfectly smooth quality, or if there's some sort of weird, like, stuttering impact or something that will make that not possible.
To make the attempt, the jump in front of you is beyond
Jump.
current capabilities. But fear
I need
not,
thrusters.
photographers have found a deposit of a rare fluid which could be used to synthesize the fuel for some basic jump thrusters.
Anyways, we should probably talk about the game and just kind of letting the robot do its thing. So you got your character, you got your goals, you got your adventure. So in general, what you're trying to do is you are exploring. You're an explorer. And you're sent from this company that I think is like the third best or something like that. Again, it's a very jokey game. Like, they're making lots of jokes. It's very comedic. There's like these funny, weird trailers in your ship that kind of go over like advertisements for your like stuff. And, you know, your CEO is a bit of a crazy person. And, you know, you're out here adventuring, just trying to, you know, I don't know if it do your company proud, but you're trying to further the mission of your company, because, you know, everybody's doing a big space race and stuff. And you just happen to crash upon this planet where, hey, there is actually, like, maybe some sort of intelligent life? I don't know, the tower definitely seems to point to that sort of thing. And you're out here exploring, and you're out here trying to, you know, figure out what exactly is going on. And it's quite enjoyable. Like, it's a pretty decent length, it's a pretty fun experience, there's a neat selection of, like, little boss fight type things. Nothing's too crazy or over the top ridiculous for difficulty, but you do get some decent challenge stuff. There's some parkouring, there's some neat, like, abilities you have to unlock, there's lots of, like, local creatures that you interact with. There's actually quite a lot going on in this one. So yeah, it's very, very interesting in that regard. Like, I quite liked the sense of adventure, the places you visit, the things you do, the weird, like, candy stuff that you collect along the way. Why isn't the torch showing? Okay, there we go. And you get, like, a neat radar in order to, like, scan stuff, and, you know, you gotta scan things in the environment, and it's just, again, it's pretty entertaining. Like, I had a lot of fun playing this when it first came out. And it's not too bad when you're in the, you know, kind of tighter, more linear areas. But yeah, the open world definitely some performance issues and stuff. But honestly, it was just kind of nice that they gave us a big upgrade to this game when they did, as it was kind of one of those titles that I was expecting to sort of just vanish. But it is nice that they took the time to do that, because the team behind this one were bought up by Google. And apparently they were working on a sequel to this game before Google Stadia, kind of like, you know, they were doing Stadia, and then Google closed their first party and gave up on gaming like really, really fast for, I don't know, some random reason. I mean, it probably just wasn't very successful. Not making enough money for them, right? But like, yeah, it was just like a little weird though, because I was like, oh, this is a really great studio. I really found this game fun, and I was looking forward to seeing what their next project was going to be. I was really, really excited about it. I was, you know, I was thinking, oh, you know, if they do a sequel or they do another game that's kind of, you know, along the lines of this concept, I think it would be a lot of fun. Like, they've actually got a good sense of humor, which is honestly very hard to do in gaming. I don't know if other people feel that kind of way, but I genuinely feel like, for the most part, it is very hard to do humor in video games. I don't know why. Sometimes there's good laughs and stuff that some games do, and, you know, sometimes they hit the mark on some good joke things, but, like, it's genuinely, seemingly hard to do a comedy in gaming. It really is, and I think this one actually delivers on that sort of thing. Also, because your protagonist is basically silent, aside from, like, some grunts and stuff, but it's kind of funny, too, your interactions to the weird world that you're going through. Oh, it's also online co-op for up to 2. I should also mention that it does include all of the DLC in this version of the game, so you get, like, an extra little adventure place, which is pretty cool. Am I stuck? I was like, that's really weird. Okay, anyways. But yeah, there's some really neat things to see and do here, and you can also come back to areas, and, well, sometimes you'll have to as well, because, you know, that's how you progress. So I wouldn't call it like Metroidvania or anything, but you do gain new abilities and tools that will allow you to traverse and explore new areas that you weren't able to prior when you were first going through this. Jeez, what? What is that? So, yeah, it's kind of neat. You just get better tools and new ways and methods to move through the environment. It's all very, very intriguing, and it is interesting in the sense that there is, like, a good mystery here. Like, you're on an alien planet. You know, you're trying to survive on an alien planet to a degree, but it doesn't have, like, survival mechanics, which I appreciate, because not everything needs, you know, survival mechanics in it. It just gets annoying when all those games have that sort of thing. Could you stop inking me? But anyways, I like the world, I like the setup of it. It's got, like, a decent length to it as well. Like, it's not insanely long, but it's got a good amount of, like, gameplay to it, a good sense of, you know, exploration. There's a lot you can really see and visit too, and there's different... Why can't I not tag you? You are weird, do you think? Yeah, I literally cannot tag this thing. That's so weird. Is it because it moves weirdly? I think it's because it moves weirdly. Anyways, like I was saying, there is, like, a variety of differing biomes and environments that you will come across when you are playing this. You know, there is actually quite a lot to see in this game. And then there's some extra little, I don't know, puzzle things, but extra little side things you can do and activities. And yeah, I really like the vibe it has going for it. And the music's kind of nice. And, you know, actually, just going back into this and playing it again, I am really disappointed that my save doesn't carry over to this game to like, you know, make this go by faster and let me show you cooler things, but like B, that we're not gonna ever see any sort of continuation to this game and it's just kind of gonna be a forgotten one-off. I mean, I could see other studios kind of getting their hands on this to like remaster it or something at some point, you know, like way down the road, right? But at the same time too, it's sort of diminishing returns, I would think, on visuals. I mean, games can always look better and stuff, but this one does have a bit of a specific, I want to say almost cartoon-esque aesthetic to it that really does have its own sort of vibe, and I think limiting factor too for visuals, because it's like, what are you going to do? Revamp all the textures and stuff? And I don't know if the game would look the same, and I also don't know if the game's large enough of a title, release-wise, to, you know, necessarily justify that kind of work ever down the road, but I don't know, I kind of hope it doesn't get totally forgotten, because I do like this one, you know, it's got like a little warm spot in the heart there where I'm kind of like, oh, it had some good laughs and some fun, and because I remember like reviewing this like ahead of launch and just having such a kick out of it. Yeah, but this is your, you know, he's the CEO of the company, and they've got all these funny like video things. They've got all these like weird adverts, and you know, they're always playing in your ship like these joke things, and yeah, it's very, very entertaining to sit there and kind of take that all in. What am I doing? Oh yeah, the jump ability. Oh, I'm missing carbon. I thought I had enough resources. It made it sound like I had enough. So yeah, you've got this like, you know, 3D printer kind of thing in your base, your little crash ship, and that allows you to print stuff. And usually you need, you know, supplies, like you gotta have so much carbon, you gotta have so many like resources, and ow. And you collect that from like, you know, killing the local fauna and stuff like that, flipping the bird. Huh. Yeah, the achievements are all funny too in their naming conventions. Just a kind of entertaining game, honestly. It really is a bit of a blast for sure. I quite liked playing this game, and this version, like, I wish the performance level was like smooth, but I'm just just happy that it was nice that they actually took the time to like upgrade this game. I mean, I'm sure everybody was paid along the lines for this to release, but to me it's just kind of nice that you know, that this game got a little bit more of a touch-up just so it looked a little bit better, ran a little bit better, and a future console down the line hopefully will smooth this one right out, and that would be ideal. And yeah, I think it's just kind of future-proof, right? I guess the only other benefit you could really see down the line would be maybe having quality mode get uncapped to like 60 FPS and just get that slightly higher resolution from that one. But that's, again, gonna be like a future console down the line is gonna do that one. But it is nice to come back and kind of revisit this little adventure. It really is cool, honestly. Like, it's a lot of fun. We don't have the rope thing yet, do we? Yeah, usually you get, well, not usually, but later on you get the resources in order to be able to basically, like, I think kind of like swing to a degree, I guess you would call it. So yeah, you just get like better tools and stuff along the line. Wow. Actually, like, kind of went down the, landed on top of the thing, which is a little funny. You do have to manage your health, too. Like, you actually gotta... There's, like, a little trees you slap. That's some of the bosses, too. You interact with them. It kind of, like, is a little funny, because they, like... You know, there'll be boss battles. You gotta, like, slap plants in order to heal and stuff. Well, they never fixed that line. That's kind of funny. But, yeah, you're just kind of in this weird, floating, colorful, vibrant, crazy sort of area with a great level of satirical style to it. Lots of resources to gather, lots of things to collect, lots of stuff to see, abilities to get, battles to have. I mean, this is very much just kind of like the opening of the experience, right? Like, you're just kind of getting into the swing of it, learning the ropes, getting your initial tools, and then, yeah, once you're kind of really out there and exploring and stuff and taking it all in, it's pretty cool. But it's not like a totally... You know, it's not like an endless sort of, you know, exploration kind of thing. Like, you are largely guided in this, which makes sense for the type of game it is. Like, there's no reason for you to kind of, I guess you would say, be lost while playing this. It's really unnecessary. I mean, it would actually be kind of cool if they took this concept and, you know, sort of expanded it to more of like a planetary exploration thing in like a bit of a more open world type scenario. But then I guess if you did that, you wouldn't have the well-crafted, you know, story structuring and jokes and stuff. And, you know, all the jokes towards, like, the consumerism and stuff. Very, very entertaining. Are there any more birds here? We need more birds to spawn. Because I'm like, you gotta bring them to the thingy and then they get, like, sucked up by the thing and it opens the gates and stuff. you gotta feed the vine plants and then you're allowed to progress, which is kind of a little bit entertaining. The Tranquil Crevasse of Tranquility. That sounds about right. And don't forget to scan. I think it's just because you get an achievement for scanning stuff. I think it's supposed to fall down, isn't it? I guess not. Yeah, they've definitely got a good amount of humor going on in this one, that's for sure. I love all the little laughs and the jokes. And you get like a lot of different, I guess you would say, pickup things throughout this game. Like, there's a lot of differing, like, plant-type things you collect and stuff, and food things in order to attract these various creatures. Okay, that's not the right one. Trying to, what is it? I'm trying to collect some of that gruel so that we can get those guys over there. Oh, grob. Yeah, grob, sorry. You can only hold... Oh, it can only hold one bait. Okay, got it. Yeah, you gotta increase your storage capacity and stuff too. Makes a big difference when you're trying to, you know, solve problems and all that stuff. Poor creature. Yeah, you know, it sucks that there's not gonna be a sequel to this. Ugh. I think it bummed me out last time I checked this out, like the previous gen version, and then taking a look at this, like, current gen version. Yeah, that's, that is a big bummer for sure. Because I'm like, it would have been so fun to explore, like, a new world from these guys. Okay, is there not any of this seed stuff anywhere here? It's so much easier when I don't have to, like, backtrack to gather the stuff.
Like a normal puffer bird, but wrinkly.
But more wrinkly. And I love our little AI assistant. She's so funny. Like, genuinely kind of humorous her little bits. Like, she's a computer, whatever, but, yeah, I guess a good laugh out of her points, where it's just like, the whole game is just like about death and life and stuff like that. Everything is just so satirically like laughed at and mocked in the most ridiculous of ways. Oh no, you can have 3, okay. I think you can upgrade it too, from what I recall. Like the quantity of bait and stuff you can get. Because there are other things. You think you could see that in the bottom left, like, kind of briefly. There's just like, there is a huge selection of differing throwables that you collect along your journey through the savage planet, as to say, right? Oh, and the DLC is again definitely quite worth it if you get to that point to check it out. It's a very, very entertaining DLC place. It's like a vacation land, which is really interesting. But yeah, this really, you know, just bumping up the visual fidelity of this really lets like the game's color palette and stuff, I think, shine quite a bit more. Like, this looks, to me, it feels a lot better than the base version did, and it's just like a nice little excuse to kind of be here and being like, you know, give this a whirl, take a look at it, see what it has to offer, and I think you'll have a good laugh and some fun with it.
Why don't you scan this one?
'Tis a great experience.
Sort of transport device.
Did I use the
If you
teleporter?
turn it back on, we can kill you here and make a clone of you at another one you've activated. Or, sorry, you're supposed to say teleport.
Cloning? Yeah, okay.
Kindred says I need to read you a 400-page waiver of some
What is hitting me? I don't even know. I just keep getting hit by something. It's like, what is hitting me out here? I think there's also an achievement for like killing everything on this planet too, which is kind of funny.
Secondary bonus of your lovely new jetpack is that you can use it horizontally to dodge creatures such as this one. A little aggressive.
Jeez. Yeah, I felt that. Okay.